There we go. Okay, I'm going to give it about another minute. Press participants and there should be a mute all. Admit, well, I've got admit all. Oh yeah, mute all. Nice, good stuff. Mute all, nice. I'm learning. Okay. Felix, what's on your mind, dude, before we dive in?
No, it was just a question. Like, I know last week everyone was coming up and doing the questions. So I wonder if I can ask my questions and you can give me some tips and coaching.
Yes, you can, mate. Yeah, so let's actually get started. So the first thing we're going to do, Felix, for this week, I just want to run you guys through one of the modules in my training program to add some value.
Yes, of course.
And then we'll jump to questions in a sec. David, love the latest video, Will. Really got me inspired to make videos. Sick. I appreciate that, dude. Right, so let's dive in. All right. Now, the first thing that I want to do, let me just do this. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So I want to cover this video with you first. Let me just pull it up. Okay. Now, obviously, I'm not going to play the video, but what I want to talk to you guys about. Now, there's a reason that this is called the simplicity of six figures. I personally don't think that making 6 figures a month is that hard. I've done it consistently for about 5 years, every single month in a row. Now, and this is really how you do it. Traffic, sales process, conversion, value. And if you get these four things, and by the way, I know that sounded really big-headed. I didn't mean it to sound big-headed, but you know, I just want to prove that I know what I'm talking about. Traffic, sales process, conversion, and value. And when you get these four things in alignment, you actually can't help but to make money, right? And I want to hopefully help you guys get these in alignment. So hopefully you guys can see this. I'll just zoom in so it's a little bit clearer. So what are these four elements, right? Well, traffic is either organic or paid. So you can either make, YouTube videos, Instagram reels, post on Facebook, post on Twitter, that kind of thing, or you can run paid ads on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, wherever. Those are the only two ways, really, to get traffic. Okay. What's a sales process? Well, it's either a VSL, a webinar, or a written sales page. Typically, there's little variations, right? So we saw last week, someone had like a school page with a VSL and an explanation stuff, but still, it was a VSL, right? So when it comes to the sales process, you're taking the traffic, the eyeballs, the attention, and you're running it through a process where you warm people up, you tell them who you are, how you can help them, right? And you basically sell them on working with you. That's step 2. Step 3 is to convert them into a paying client, someone that gives you money, right? And the two main ways you do that is either through a sales page button or a sales call. So again, going back to last week's example, I think there was a button and you could press the button and buy. Or if there isn't a button, the most common way is a sales call, right? So you might see a YouTube video, you then go into a sales process, and I'm going to show you mine in a second. Then you book a sales call, usually, and then you get closed, you buy, right? And then you, as the founder, as the CEO, the entrepreneur, you help the client get the result, the promised result, right? So those are the 4 key elements. Now, if I just skip forwards a little bit, and I'll just skip to the end, right? So again, just to zoom in a little bit. Organic, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, school. Paid, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, TikTok ads. Okay, sales process. You're typically driving traffic to an opt-in and then to some kind of media asset. Again, a VSL that just conveys the value and then sends them to the next step. Okay. Conversion. So here they buy from you, right? Like we just discussed. You help them get the result. And there's another step as well. So if I just skip a little bit further, down here is ascension. And this is one of the things that people don't really do or think about, and this is basically free money. It really is insane, right? So if you're already getting sales, then you can sell them a mastermind on the back end. You can sell them a workshop. You can give them a software where you get a recurring commission. You can sell them extra one-to-one calls. There's loads of things like, I'm going to do a mastermind at my home in Dubai in a couple of months and just get 10 people to come to my place where I live, right? So after the customer gets the promised result, here's a good way to think about it. What is the next problem that's created? So for me, my most common client, they've got an info business. They're maybe making 10, 20, 30K a month and they want to scale. So they come in, I help them scale to 100, 200 a month, whatever. One of the next problems is, oh, I need sales reps now. Or, oh, I need to hire coaches and a team and a manager. Or, oh, yeah, I'm rich now, but I'm on my own. I don't know other entrepreneurs, right? Go to a mastermind, go to a workshop, whatever. I hire people's sales reps for them to save them time. So there's all these other things that you can sell on the back end to make even more from your existing customers. So I'd ask you a question. If you're already getting customers, people join you to solve a problem usually, but what's the next problem? Or what are the few next problems? And then you add additional value or solve the newly created problems for them on the back end. And that's basically what a back end is. A back end is anything that people buy later on after they've bought the main thing, essentially. And if any of you guys follow me on Instagram, I've been testing this recently. So I tested selling 1 hour calls with me for £1,000. I tested doing a little mastermind in Bali next week. Just all these cool things, these extras that you can sell. Okay. So what I want to do for the rest of this call is let you guys chime in on where you're at. Okay. Now, for any of you that are already operating and maybe making sales and getting customers, if you're not doing it at the level that you want, that's usually because there's a bottleneck, there's a problem. Like one of these things is off. Like I had a call this afternoon with a guy who was getting traffic. He had a good sales process, but he couldn't close the sales calls. So this was good, the T. This was good, the S. But it all fell apart at conversion because he struggles with sales. When he's better at sales, the bottleneck will disappear and boom, he will make the money that he wants to make, right? And vice versa. So hopefully that helps and brings a bit of clarity. I'll leave it on screen and I'll take some questions from you guys. And I think let's try something new this time. Should I? Do you know what? I'll let you guys just unmute yourself. So thank you for that, Chad. I appreciate that, dude. That's very kind. Mohammed, I went through your sales funnel just to see, and they said I was too broke. That's funny, man. Well, first, I'm sorry, I shouldn't laugh, but but
can I ask you?
Yeah, for sure. Of course.
Yeah. So, like one thing I feel like is missing, or like one thing that worked really well for me is just warming people up in the free community and just providing as much value. And like, what's kind of your thought process behind that? Like, how do you warm up people to just making them want to buy from you in the first place?
That's a really good question, man. I'm glad that you've asked that because it reminds me what I've missed. So let me show you guys what I do, right? And just for context, I currently do about 280,000 a month cash collected. On a good month, 330, 340. And this is literally all that I do for the main part. So I make videos on YouTube, and this is my traffic source, right? So this is where I get my traffic. In the description of my videos is this link. If you want some help with your online business, go here. Then it's this link, right? So this is my traffic source, number one, right? The T. This is my sales process, which is the S, right? So, dude, to answer your question, Eric, I warm people up and I build trust and I build value in the YouTube videos, right? And I just try and make the best videos that I can that help add value, give people light bulb moments. And then I know that 1 in 100, 1 in 200, 1 in 300 are going to want to work with me eventually. And when that time comes, they click the link and they come here, right? So what's on this page? Here's how I might be able to help you. And there's a VSL here. And this VSL basically explains who I can help, who I can't help, some examples from past clients, and then they can book in a sales call down here. There's just a bit about me down here, why work with Will. He's sold his company. He's won this award for making 10 million in cash. A few people that I've helped, some testimonials, right? But you don't need this. It just helps, right? So if you have it, it helps. If you don't have it, that's completely fine. You can still book calls. You can still make sales and make money. All right. So you can literally just have this and nothing else. And that works all the time. So then if they want to book a call, they click the button and they go to the book a call page. And then there's a bit about, what it is. Right. You're ready to hire Will as a mentor. If yes, book a call. On the call, here's what we'll do, blah, blah, blah. And they book in and they fill out a survey. Now, this is a really, really heavy survey. And I would not suggest, when you start out, don't even have a survey, right? Because just booking calls and taking calls is important so you can learn from the market. Do people have money? Do they not? Are they warm? Are they cold? What are their problems? What are their desires? What's my close rate, right? How is my price sitting with them? Am I good at sales? Is my sales script good or not? You look at all that first, then you add in questions. So if you start taking loads of calls and everyone is cold and they're like, I don't really know who you are. I don't really know what you do. Like, right. Well, people are probably not watching the VSL. So let's go back to the VSL and let's hide the button until people have watched like 7 minutes of the VSL. And you can do that in ClickFunnels, by the way. Now people have to watch the VSL before they're even able to book a call. Problem solved. People are no longer cold, they're warm because they've watched your VSL, right? Or let's say that, what's another problem? Let's say that people don't really know it's a sales call. So sometimes you can frame it in your VSL as like, look, book a call and we'll chat about if I can help you. That might not be strong enough, right? People might get on the call thinking, oh, I thought this was just a value call. I can ask you questions and maybe buy. But then you're going to be taking loads of shit sales calls and no one buys. So, right, let's add a question like this, right? This bottom one. Working with William is not free and requires an investment on your part in regards to his coaching fee. Do you currently have capital available to invest in yourself? If people click no, we cancel their call, right? And we've tested this, by the way. We've tested letting everyone through, seeing who buys, and people that click no, it's pretty much no one that actually buys, right? So this is it's an obvious question, right? But you'd be surprised. And vice versa. This is another one that we added in. So we found that we were getting a lot of people from YouTube and they were interested, but they weren't quite ready to buy. And we were wasting a lot of time on the calls. So we were like, right, well, let's just ask people, how confident are you that you're ready to buy, right? 100%. That's why I'm booking the call. I'm eager to invest in myself and my business. I can't wait for Will to help me scale. I'm ready to go. If they click that, they're buying, right? 90%, I've got a few questions and I'm ready to go. 50%, not ready to buy yet. Certainly not ready to join the program. I need a chat. I need info. I need time to think, blah, blah, blah. At the moment, we're accepting these calls, but soon we're not going to be. We're going to send them to the book instead. And again, zeros get cancelled. All right. So can you see how you can use the survey and VSL as well to control your sales calls, right? So if you're struggling with volume, well, take all the friction away. Let the volume through. If you're getting a lot of volume, right, too much volume, well, let's stop that. Let's add in heavy questions. Let's write a heavy VSL. Stop so many people booking and only speak to the really quality people, right? And then obviously people go and they buy, and that's the final step. So we convert them on a sales call, and the value is the program. And I ran you guys through the programs that I sell last week, and that's it. Does that explain some stuff there for you, Eric? Any other questions?
Like what I'm getting it is the volume. Like I even heard Hormozi today speaking about this, that you just need to first start with the volume, and it's definitely something I need to just I have a little questionnaire, not like just 2 questions, but I will just delete all of it to just get more calls.
Definitely, mate. So what's your bottleneck right now? Is it just volume?
Yeah, probably.
Right. Well, in that case,
I'm get like my funnel is like first people go to my free community on school, and then I like DM and like I have like weekly calls with the community where I also like sometimes mention the coaching.
nice, man. So where are you getting your traffic from?
So I'm getting traffic from YouTube and like I think a little bit from Instagram also right now. And then just everyone goes to the free community. I then I have like 1 free course, like 2 free courses there. So I try to provide as much value as possible. And then just if they want my personal help with productivity and like achieving goals, I just get on a call with people.
Nice. Yeah. So YouTube, Instagram is the traffic. Sales process is free school group, DM, qualification chat, on a sales call, get them closed.
Yes.
Nice. Cool.
I was thinking a little bit about if the free community isn't a friction point in itself, if it wouldn't be better to just have a call maybe there directly on YouTube for people to book.
Well, yeah, you know what? So I would test these things because you don't know what's going to work the best until you test, right? So for example, one test, I mean, you're running one test now, the free school group, then the message and the qualification of the call. That's test number 1. Test number 2, scrap the school group and go to a VSL, an explainer video and a book a call button, and then a calendar with no survey. That's another test, right? Does that get you more calls? Are you able to close more sales that way? That's test number 2. Test number 3, put out the value video and go straight to a calendar with no survey. Does that book you more calls? Are you able to close more? Right? And when you've ran those 3 experiments, you're going to be able to see, right, this works, this doesn't work, this is a bottleneck, right? And then you can construct the best machine for you. Does that help?
Nice. Yeah. I just need to test more.
You need to test.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, man. Okay, let's see. Traffic. No, that's free motivation. You're fucking wrong. Are we raising hands? Yeah, you know what? We'll do the raising hands. Are you having a whole sales pitch? Can you run through what you sell one more time? What's a reasonable testing period? Can I ask? Yeah, let's just do hands. Let's just literally do hands. So who's at the top of the list? Jurgen. I don't think I've pronounced that right, but over to you.
No worries. Good to see you again, Will. So last week we were talking about the offer that I had for meditation. It was not really addressing a pain.
Yeah.
And I tested it a bit more with paid ads. I got like 250 people to my thing, but there were no buys. So my question is, I have two things that I think is some more pain. The first one is like doctors or executives that are really stressed and want to reduce that through mindfulness. And the second one is maybe successful men that are successful in business or career, but are unfulfilled and then can find meditation to have some kind of spiritual awakening and find purpose and meaning in their life. Which of these things would you think I should aim at?
Honestly, dude, I think both of those equally can work. They're not too far apart, actually. It's basically successful men. Honestly, dude, you can just pick either. I would honestly flip a coin because both will be successful.
All right, sounds good. And for the testing, like how many people should you have on your website to test it for ads? For like organic, you said 100, but what would that be for ads? I think it might be a bit more actually.
So if you're running ads, how many people should you let go to the page before you judge the conversion rate?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I would say at least, I mean, you want to be sure before you make changes. Honestly, I would say minimum about 400 to 500 unique page viewers, not total views, unique page viewers, 500 actual people. All right, because you've got to be sure, because there's randomness in numbers. You know this because you work in trading, right? So sample size is critical. And if you don't let the sample size play out, you'll make the wrong decision and mess everything up, basically.
Okay, perfect. And then for the funnel, what is your intuition like? Free school community, direct VSL, sales page, or just testing? Where should I start?
Yeah, so by far, this is literally the model that will work best for 99 out of 100 people. Literally what I'm going to show you here. This is all you got to do to print money, pretty much. Ad, right? Honestly, straight to a VSL. Right. Straight to a call. Literally that simple. And obviously, this all rests on the strength of your copy. So if your ad is good and unique and it triggers pain and on, they're going to click it. They're going to go to the VSL. The VSL's purpose is not to sell them on the program. It's to sell them on the sales call. Then you sell them on the program on the call. So do not talk about your program. Do not share your price, anything like that. Just sell them on the value, the problem, the pain, the solution, and you and your background and the call. And then get them on a call and close them there. Right. There's just one little caveat that I want to add. Now, if you go from an ad to a VSL, you're not going to collect leads because there's no way, unless they book a call, then you'll get the lead. But otherwise, you're not collecting leads. One thing that you might want to test, right, is going to an opt-in first. And what I mean is they go from the ad to the opt-in, they opt in, then go to the VSL, then they go to a call. Right. And I'm going to show you my opt-in if it's still up. I think it was on demand. Yeah, so this is my old one from my old company that I sold last year. This is, if you clicked one of my ads, you would come to this opt-in, right? And the free masterclass is the VSL. And you register and you go and land on the VSL. And then I've got your name, your email, and your phone number, right? And the reason to collect that is because if they don't watch or they don't book, well, what can you do? You can email them and you can call them and you can text them as well to get them to the VSL or get them to the sales call. So this is an important contingency. It's not critical. You can go straight to VSL and I would test both, but this can really help.
Yeah, and so you have a little bit of extra friction, what will be compensated by the fact that you have their contact information.
Exactly. And then the people that do get to the VSL, they're a much more quality lead because they've had to say, yes, I want that promise. Yes, show me the masterclass. I'll give you my info in return, that's a lot of friction. That is a lot of friction. So you'll get less calls, but you'll get better calls. That's the playoff.
Yeah. And if you have YouTube, it's the same funnel, but just YouTube instead of the ad for traffic or both.
Yeah, exactly, dude. I'm going to have to cut you off there just so I want to try.
No, perfect. I got everything. I know.
Amazing, mate. Good stuff. And good to see you progressing with this as well, mate.
Yeah, see you next week. Thanks a lot.
Awesome, buddy. Okay, Cecilia, you're up next. If you're around. Cecilia, where are you? Sending 909. Cecilia, I can't hear you, no. No. Just maybe unmute yourself or connect a mic. I'm just going to give you like 60 seconds, then I'll jump to the next person. Because I've only got to the top of the hour this time, unfortunately.
What about now?
Got you, loud and clear. Do it.
Okay, perfect. Okay, sorry about that. So basically, I'm just starting on doing some cold outreaches on Instagram to my followers, right? And I'm having calls and so on. But my problem is that like people are interested in my coaching offers, but they don't like. As soon as I'm like sending them agreements and also like the payment link, then they're like always having a money problem. So I'm like, what should I do about it? Like every time they're like, oh, like right now I'm struggling with paying this. Can I maybe extend it to next month? Do you get what I mean?
100%. 100%. Well, one thing to add, right, is some people do just talk shit. You know, you will absolutely we all get this. We get people that they're not really interested, but they say they are. They don't really want to buy, but they'll ask you 15 fucking questions and then not buy and ghost you. It happens to us all. Every niche, every offer, every market, right? One way to combat this is to do a sales call. So really, you want to get them on a sales call ASAP, right? Because here's the good thing about a sales call. Like you can cover everything. Like
we're having sales call and I'm hyping them up. I'm like offering like my coaching service and they're like all hyped and so forth. But then like when I'm sending like after the coaching, like the sales call, when I'm sending the agreement and the payment link, then they're like, oh, I'm having this money problem. Yeah.
Well, don't do that. Just close them on the call.
Okay. But like, so I should like send them the payment link on the call.
Oh yeah, you should always close on the call. Never.
But what about like the agreement? Because I'm always like in the mail, like after I've closed the client, I'm sending an email with the agreement, like the coaching agreement and also the payment link.
Yeah. So have I got the script in here? Let me just see. Script. Let me just find this.
And my problem is they're always like falling off and they're like, oh, like I don't feel like it, or I'm having this money problem. I can't pay for it right now. But like in the call, they said that they're interested in that. So it's like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
I completely understand. And I've been there before. So let me just show you. So this is the old script. I don't use this anymore, but this was the script from my old company. It was a trading education company that I sold last year. And I know that this is tiny. I'll just make this a bit bigger. So qualify them, self-admission, husband and wife, transition to the pitch. Right. So basically, all of this is getting to know the prospect. Do they have the problem? Do they have the desire? Can we actually help them? Blah, blah, blah. Discovery, right? When we've done discovery, we have a full understanding of can we help them? Do they even have the problem that we can solve, right? When you've established that, you transition to the pitch. So you say to them, got it. Thanks so much for answering my questions. Right. I definitely feel like I can help you. Would you like me to tell you how? And they always say yes. Then you pitch them, right? In the pitch, you're going to tell them everything. Tell them about the agreement. Tell me about how you're going to help them. Tell them what's involved, what they're going to get. Leave no stone unturned, right? When you've pitched them, you just tie them down before you go and close them. So you're just going to say to them like, great. So just curious here, but in terms of everything we've just covered, how do you feel? People are going to say, yeah, sounds good. Yeah, that sounds like what I need, blah, blah, blah. Then just say this. Okay, understood. And just to be totally clear here, what's really important to me is alignment. So when you come in and work with me on this, I am genuinely rolling up my sleeves. I'm jumping into the trenches with you on this. I mean, me and my team, we're all in. So it's really important to us that you feel solid, that you feel 100% on the process. Do you know what I mean? Then they're all going to say, yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah. Then you say, absolutely. So just to be 100% clear here, on a scale of 1 to 10, let's say 1 being, don't think this is going to help, and 10 being, Will, this is exactly what I need. I'm in. Let's go. Where are you on the scale? Right? Now, this is critical to ask. Because if they're talking shit, they're going to say 4, 5, 6. If they really want to buy, they're going to say 8, 9, 10. So this is where you catch out those people who are not serious. If they say they're a 10 and they don't buy, right, you can call them out on it. Okay. What's that? I don't even know what that is. Sorry. You're calling me or something. Oh, it's the timer. Cool. Sorry about that.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, but my problem is that, like, because I have a script and I also follow like Hamza's 1K roadmap and all that. But the problem is that when they say I'm all in and I'm so excited to start this coaching package, and I'm sending them the payment link and the agreement, then oftentimes they are signing the agreement, but they don't pay. So you're saying I should send them the payment link in the call, but what about the agreement?
yeah. Let me show
Yeah.
you. Let me show you. So let's step back. You tie them down, and let's just say they say, dude, 10, I'm all in. This sounds amazing. This is brilliant. Then you're going to say this. Cool. Right? No problem. Now, just before we go any further, okay, price aside, is there anything else that's stopping you from being like 100% certain here? I'm feeling like this is what you need. This is really going to help you. Obviously, if it's 10, they're going to say, nah, nothing. I'm all in. And you're going to say, got it. So if I'm hearing you correctly, you're in. You're ready to go. And they're going to say, yeah, I'm in, ready to go. Cool. Then you're going to say this. All right, sounds good. Well, we've covered, what we've just covered. We've covered the program. We covered what you get. We've covered how it all works, blah, blah, blah. All right. But yeah, you tell me where you want to go next. Where should we go from here? Okay. And they're probably going to say, well, if you've told them the price, they're going to say, I'm ready to go. If you haven't told them the price, they're going to say, yeah, what's the price? Tell me the price. All right. And you're going to say to them, yeah, so it's just 2K and you get this. Right. Is this what you're doing on your sales call?
Yeah, like I'm telling them the price and yeah, but I'm not sending the payment link in the call now.
Right. Okay. And
Yeah.
what's your price, by the way?
What?
What's your price?
$149 for 1 month is pretty like low ticket price. Yeah.
149. And on your sales call, you tell them the price, you tell them what they get, and they say that they're okay with that.
Yeah, like I'm asking questions. I'm like seeing, okay, what are they struggling with, their problem, and then I'm like, okay, I can help you with that. I can offer you this and this and this in the coaching package, and this is the price. And then I shut up, and then they're like, okay, yeah, it's good.
Nice.
And then I'm like, perfect. Okay, I'm gonna send you the email. Yeah, but maybe I should like try to send the payment link.
Right. Here's what you should do. So when you've told them a price and they say, sounds good, right? You're going to say this. Awesome. Well, we can get you started right now if you like. And then people that want to buy are going to say, yeah, sounds good. How do we do it? And then you're going to say this. No worries. Well, I'm just about to send you a payment link in the Zoom chat. Just pull that up for me and I'll walk you through getting that cleared. And when that's through, I can put you in the program. I'll deliver the agreement and we'll get started. How does that sound? Then you're going to take the payment. That's critical. Take the payment, right? Mm-hmm. You're going to do this. So in my program, let's say I've just enrolled you. I'm going to say, right, go to the welcome video, watch the welcome video, and then click here to sign the agreement below the video. So they've paid, they're closed, they're in, they've got access, and nothing else unlocks. None of this stuff down here unlocks until the agreement is signed. Then they click the button, they go to DocuSign, they sign it, you get an email saying that they've signed it. Then you go and you unlock everything for them and you're done. They're closed.
Okay. Yeah, that's good.
Does that help?
Yeah, okay. And then when they're not signing, I'm just giving them a refund or something like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, they should never not sign it, man. I mean, if they really want the program and you've told them everything as well, then there's no reason to not sign it, man. I've never, ever had someone not sign when they've bought. So they should all sign.
That's so good. Thank you so much. Really helps me.
This is going to change the fucking game for you. This is going to make you so much more money.
Because I got like 5 calls and people are so interested, but it's like, and it's not an issue for me to like close it. It's just like when you have to get the fucking money, that's the difficult part.
Exactly. And now you're going to know whether they're talking shit, because when you say that all important sentence, sounds good. Well, we can get you started right now if you like. The people that are talking shit are going to say, oh, well, I just need a day to think about it. Or, yeah, it all sounds good, but I just need to run it by my wife or some other bullshit excuse, right? And then you're going to come down here and you're going to start objection handling. You're going to say, no worries, completely appreciate that. For a second, let's just pretend money is out of the equation. Okay. How do you feel about what we've just covered specifically? Do you feel like ultimately it's what you need to solve the problem? Isolate the objection. Then you start going deeper, remove the money, start chunking down on the real objection. What's the real problem why they won't buy? And when you've removed it, they'll buy, basically.
Okay, that's perfect. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
No worries. I've got you. It's a pleasure to help, okay?
Thank you.
All right. Who is up next? Let me just let this person in. I'm stuck. I'm completely stuck. My screen. What am I doing? Get off this bloody thing. All right. There we go. Agreements mean nothing. I make 20 a month. No one signs a contract. Yeah, to be honest, we didn't have a contract for years. Like, we only introduced the contract when we were getting close to selling the company. Do you think you could scrap the contract, Cecilio? Do you think you need it?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Honestly, like, I have the contract because I asked, like, I know other coaches, and then they're like, I asked them, should I have a contract or not? And they're like, you should always have a contract. And then I also talked to another coach. He's like a really big one. He's like, I never made a contract before. I don't know, like, maybe it's just because I studied business law. So, like, maybe I'm just like scared that people will fuck you over somehow. But on the other hand, I don't think that people will. So I can definitely like cut out the contract, but I don't know. I'm really conflicting on that one.
You don't really need the contract, to be honest. The only reason you need a contract is so that people are clear on the refund policy, because that's the only real problem that you're ever going to have. But obviously, like, you only need that if you get loads of refunds. If you don't get any refunds, you don't need a contract at all.
Okay.
So, but this is stuff that you can test.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much.
No worries. Okay, Yari, you're up next.
Can you hear me now?
I can, mate. How are you?
Okay, well, I'm good, thanks. So I'll just hop straight to the question. So could you give a good example of a CTA or call to action for my niche, which is just helping high school students study more effectively?
A call to action?
Yeah, for if I get all my traffic, if I'm not really getting any traffic yet, but I get them from YouTube videos. I'm just wondering, how could I have like a good call to action with YouTube, which I get more traffic on my sales page?
Got it, man. Got it. So, I mean, what's a good call to action? It's pretty simple, really. I mean, what I usually do is I sprinkle it through my videos, right? So in my most recent video, about halfway through, I just quickly say, oh, and by the way, if any of you guys need help with any of this stuff, I'll just put a link in the description, which will take you to the Work With Me page of my website, and you can book a call. And one of my coaches will run you through how my programs work. But anyway, back in the video, blah, 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 back on with the video. And then sometimes also towards the end, and again, I think I did this in my most recent video, I'll say, and by the way, guys, again, if you need any help with this stuff, feel free to go to the link in the description, the Work With Me page, book in a call, and you can find out more about my program. See you in the next video. It doesn't have to be any more complex than that, man. Really soft.
Yeah, so it's really just that simple. You just tell them to click the link in the description and go to your sales page, and then that's done. Yeah.
And then obviously the first link in your description should be, would you like to learn more about working with me on blah, blah, blah? If so, go here and check out the page or some shit, and if you're struggling to book calls, put it as a pinned comment as well.
Oh, all right. So I guess it's really simple. I think I'm overthinking it at this point. I just thought I had to get really complex and get maximum conversion, but no, I'll just keep it simple, keep it cool, and just, do 2 call to action in my videos, and that's really it, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, I'm glad that you've said that, because sometimes if you say it too well, it puts people off because it's like contrived, So if you're like, and by the way, guys, if you didn't know, I've got a coaching program and you do this, then you can book a call and we'll talk about it and all this shit. Just keep it real, man. Just be like, look, guys, and by the way, if you need help, I'll put a link in the description, click that shit, and I'll tell you how I can help you. Just keep it real.
Yeah, so you gotta sort of be on their side of the table. Is that what you're implying?
Exactly. And that's a really good mindset to have. Think like the customer.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess that was my question. Thank you for the help, man.
No worries, mate. No worries. It's a pleasure to help. Okay, Zane, you're up, dude.
Okay, can you hear me?
Got you loud and clear, mate. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, man. It's nice to speak to you, bro. So I wrote down my question. So right now the business that I'm running, so it's like an education company that helps people grow like their coaching or consulting businesses. So right now it's making anywhere from like 15 to 20K a month. Like the best month we did like 36,000 and there's only 4K costs. So basically the question I wrote down is I want to scale to 100K a month by the end of the year. But most of the leads that I'm getting now, it just comes from like networking with like entrepreneurs in different groups and people that I know like in real life or through social media. So now I want to start doing YouTube. But I'm saying that if I make content about like general entrepreneurship, like those people who watch it, they're not necessarily convinced just from that alone that starting a coaching business is like the best thing to do. So if I send them to like a short VSL, like is that enough to convince them? Or would it be better to like send them to like a YouTube video that's like a longer, like kind of perfect webinar kind of video, and then they book a call from there? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, good question, man. So sorry, are we talking about traffic here or lead quality?
So for me, I just need the traffic overall. But I'm saying like if I made a video, like, I don't know, like, some mindsets that help me in business, like not everybody who watches that would want to start a coaching business from that video. So I need to convince them that that's what they should do. It's the best opportunity. But if I send them to like a 5-minute VSL, would that be enough to convince them? Or would it be better to send them to like a webinar that's like maybe like 30, 40 minutes long that just takes them through all the stories? Does that make sense?
Yeah, dude. So can you see my screen, by the way?
Yeah, okay.
So, dude, I've made this video and it's not out for weeks yet. It's not out till October, but it's called I Retired at 33. Here's How I Did It. And this is actually a VSL, right? So this is like a hidden VSL disguised as a YouTube video. And basically what I do in this is I basically say like, I'm 33. I've made like $24 million in cash, blah, blah, blah. I just talk about that. But then I go into, and here's how I did it. Online education. Here's how online education works. Here's how I did it. And then I tell them it's a VSL, right? But disguised video. And I try and do this as often as possible, right? So in this video, my most recent one, is it valuable? Yes, right? Because the bedrock of business is value, right? But this is me basically giving away some value on my YouTube strategy, but also saying, look, if you need help with this, I have a coaching program, right? So I'm talking about YouTube, growing a channel, making money from a channel, which is broad business, essentially. But what I'm really saying is I'm very good at YouTube. I make a lot of money from YouTube. If you want to do the same, you should let me help you, right? So can you see how I'm putting it in the video? So to bring this back to yourself, you could make a video like, give me a title for one of your videos.
Oh no, let's say I made a video like top 10 books that help me like 10K a month, for example.
Yeah. So you could say, right, top 10 books, and book number 3 could be all about like education, or it could be my book, right? All about selling info, right? And you could, and the reason I like this book so much is because it introduced me to the coaching industry. And by the way, if you don't know how lucrative the coaching industry is, right? And book 7 is like a Russell Brunson book. And you can say, this book taught me about sales funnels. And if you don't know what a sales funnel is, it makes you all this money. And this is, so it's the book, but you're taking it in your own direction to sell your program.
Wow, that's very good.
I'm smart. I'm fucking smart.
Yeah, that's good, man. That's good. It's very smart. It's very smart, bro. Now, what about when it comes to pricing, right? So the most I've ever charged is 3,000 right now. So I want to get that up, of course, just to increase LTV. How do you just choose a price? Is it just something you just choose? Because what they get right now is they get access to like a school group where there's like a program and they get Q&A as well. And then we're going to get like a one-to-one student support manager who would just like jump on calls with them monthly. So I'm thinking for 6 months right now, we'll charge like 5K, but I have a limiting belief. I can't charge 10K. So how do you break that limiting belief? Because I think it is worth 10K because, there's people in there making 6 figures now,
Definitely. I'll tell you how I did it. Now, with my current coaching business, right? I used to own a whole different business, the trading education company that I used to own that I sold last year, right? And then one day, whilst I was running that, I had no intention of doing the coaching. Someone messaged me on Instagram and they were like, oh, Will, I was at a mastermind. The guy whose mastermind it was saying all about you. Could you please coach me? And he literally just offered me $3K a month for 1 hour a week on a rolling basis. That was my first ever client that came to me, right? Now, he basically set the price. He offered 3. I thought 3 was fair. I was like, let's go. I got a few more at 3. And when I had like 4 clients, I just thought to myself, everyone is so easily paying 3. Let me just try 4 instead, you know? And honestly, I tried 4. Nothing changed, man. Literally nothing changed at all. I just made more money, right? I did like maybe 6, 7, 8, 9 clients. And then I was like, these guys are getting great results. You know, I'm really happy with what they're doing. They're really happy with me. This guy stayed for like 9 months, the first ever guy as well. So I knew that it was mad valuable. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try 5. And I tried 5. And again, pretty much nothing changed. There was some resistance here. Some people did start to say, no, that's too high. But overall, I was making more money. So it was a good decision. And on, right? And now that program, the one-to-one is 7K right now. So that's one example. You just price test when it feels right and when your customers are happy and your customers are getting results and they're happy and you're happy and your close rate is in a good place. What's your close rate right now?
It's like 33. It's 33, yeah.
33 is a good close rate. It's not too high. It's not too low. That's pretty normal for a CEO, right? What I used to do in the old company was when we started our sales call funnel, it was £3.8, right? And we were really, really profitable, man. We were like 5.5 cash on ads. And we were like, you know what? We're doing so well. Let's just do 4.8 instead. Close rate came down a little bit, but overall we made more money. And we actually waited. We waited about 6 months at 3.8. Then we made the change. Then we waited about 5-6 months again. And then we did it again, 5.8. Waited 6 months, 6.8, and we did that all the way up to 8.8. And it wasn't until, 8.5 US, that was where we couldn't go any further. Like we tried further, didn't work. Close rate was too low, way too many payment plans. So we were like, right, let's go back to what worked, 8.5. And that's where we stayed for the last like year and a half. So my point being, if your close rate's good, your customers are happy, everything's going well, just raise the price. You said it was 5K for 6 months, right?
Yeah, we're going to raise it to 5K, but right now it's 3K.
3K right now. Yeah. Rock and roll. Do it.
Okay. Do you have time for one more question, by the way?
One more.
Yeah. So it's just overall, do you have any advice for like money management? Because I know I'm meant to reinvest money in, but like I have a problem where I'm a big spender right now, just on personal stuff. So like I can make a lot of cash, but I can spend a lot of cash too. Do you have any advice on that?
Definitely, man. So there's a quote. Have you ever heard of Ray Dalio, the hedge fund manager?
Yeah.
So there's a quote from Ray Dalio, and he says, if you're not worried, you should be worried. And if you're worried, there's no need to be worried, right? What he means by that is, if you think you're in a good spot, you're probably not in a good spot, right? And there's changes that need to be made. If you're a bit worried and you're like, oh shit, is this right? I'm a bit worried. We're trying this. Things are probably absolutely fine and you're going to progress, right? That's one of my favorite quotes. And it's so fucking true. Okay. So if you're wasting money, you shouldn't be wasting money, man. And I think you know that you shouldn't be wasting money because you wouldn't have asked me otherwise. Yeah. So the fact you've asked tells me that you know that there's a problem. And you need to have a healthy fear, right? One of the best things that ever happened to me was having this healthy fear. And I was always terrified. From the moment I started making money, I was always terrified that my business would stop. People would stop buying, you know, something would go wrong, blah, blah, blah. So I like hoarded all the money and bought real estate with cash. And I've always done that. Like pretty much every penny I've ever made is in real estate. No mortgages, bought with cash, millions and millions and millions of dollars by this stage. And that served me very well. So why are you wasting the money though, when you know that you shouldn't?
Me, like, I don't like, I'm new to money, right? So like last year I was on benefits. I was on universal credit. So to jump to like 20, 30 grand a month, like I don't even keep track, I just spend. 'Cause I've never had money like my whole life. So
I understand. I understand. When you get it, you want to enjoy it, right? But just understand, number one, nothing lasts forever. No offer lasts forever. All offers burn out. No business lasts forever, right? So if you want to stay rich, you've got to invest the money, man, and invest it in safe assets. Buy real estate with cash. Save up for a house, man. Buy a house for the future. Lock the money away. You're going to get rent from it. It's going to build security for the long term. We don't get pensions, man. Entrepreneurs don't get pensions. We have to build our own cash reserves, real estate, stocks and bonds, portfolios, index funds. Okay. You just think ahead, man, because things go up and down. It sounds like you're very skilled. The fact that you're making that much money, that's not by accident. You don't make that by accident. So you're clearly smart and talented, but just be careful. Just be careful, man. When you're new, I think save everything and invest it. And then you can fuck around later. When you're wealthy, then go and fuck around because you're solid. Right? But just be careful, man. Okay.
okay, thank you, man. Appreciate that.
No worries, man. Right. I've got a call on the hour, so I don't have very long left. Who's next in order? Let me just come. Felix, you're next in order, mate. I'm going to cover you.
Yo, what's up?
How are you, dude?
I'm doing good. So my question is, how do I get a high ticket sale in my niche? And my niche is helping young skinny men become jacked. They often say like they're poor, they don't got the money.
That's hard right there, because young people are naturally poor. Not always. It surprises me actually how much money some people squirrel away at a young age. But selling to young people is one of the worst avatars that you can sell to, especially for high ticket, to like make good. Do you have the result? Are you like extremely jacked and you've got loads of proof?
Yeah, like I have a pretty good physique.
That's a good start. And how are you getting traffic?
From YouTube and Instagram and TikTok.
What's your sales process?
So I DM'd them, asked them like if they want to become jacked, if they already work out, and if they're interested in me, like helping them. Then I asked them if they want to hop on a call.
Got it, man. You need to do two things, right? Number one, try and come up with like a unique method or strategy or something that sets you apart that you've used to get jacked, right?
Okay.
And also, you've got to go the pain route, right? So your YouTube videos, your content should be focusing on the pain of being skinny, the pain, you're not going to get girls, your friends are not going to respect you, you're going to look shit in your clothes. Just think of all the pain, and you've got to really agitate the pain, because the more pain that people have, the faster they'll buy and the more money they will pay, right? So the more pain, the faster and easier they'll buy and the more money they will spend to solve the pain, right? Yeah. So, and if you can get those two things in alignment, you should be able to make this work. But one thing that's going to be important to you is your brand. Like, you need to build a good following, a loyal following, a good brand, and kind of tie in the fitness to it. We can maybe go deeper on this on next week's call, dude.
Yes, of course.
Okay. Does that help so far though?
Yeah. Like make them feel pain and just show much proof.
Exactly. And just
like
make videos that show you are better for being ripped. You can get girls, you can get better jobs, you can have better friends, you look better in clothes. And basically you're selling what people want. Like Iman Gadzhi is not selling what he's selling. He's selling having a Rolls Royce and living on the Palm and flying around with girls and flying private. That's what you're buying. You ain't buying the course or the fucking community. You're buying, if I buy this, I'm going to be on a jet soon. And that's, we know that's not true, but that's what people are really buying,
Okay. Yeah, thank you.
No problem, buddy. We'll go deeper on that next week. Well, guys, this has been a really fun call. I'm sorry that I can't run over. I usually like to run over, but on this occasion, I've got a call on the hour. So for now, I really hope that helped. I hope that added some value and some inspiration. And any questions, ask me in school, and I'll see you same time next week. Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming along. I really appreciate it. See you soon.
So much.
Bye.
Bye.
You guys.
Thank you, man.
Thank you. Massive.
Chad, what's up, buddy?
Well, how's it
Hello.
going, my friend?
I'm good. I'm good. How are you?
Doing good, man.
Good to hear. Does anyone know? Is there a way to just like let people in? I don't know. It's so annoying having to let people in.
I think there is a setting, but I'm not sure exactly where.
Yeah. I think there is a setting, but I don't know where it is either. It's so annoying having to like let so many people in. There's so many bloody members.
I can look it up, and before the next time I can tell you or something.
Yeah, that would be awesome, Sebastian, if you could do that, man. I'm going to use you as my research assistant.
Okay, I think I can DM on you on Instagram, right, and send you that if I find it.
Yeah. Wait.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, disabling the waiting room or something like that. I'll figure it out before the next call. Now, guys, so today I don't have a presentation. What I wanted to do today is focus more on niche and avatar. Okay, because if you
Perfect.
if you get the niche and the avatar right, it's so much easier to make money. It's just so much easier, man. And if you get it wrong, it's way harder as well. So let's do this. You know what? Let's do questions in the chat this week instead, because it's a little bit easier than otherwise. So let me just mute everyone and let me let this person in as well. So who here, just raise your hand if you do not have a niche and you're looking for a niche. Just raise your hand so I can see your hand. You don't have a niche and you're trying to figure a niche out. It seems like everybody's probably got a niche then. All right, so let's dive into questions. Does anybody have a question regarding niche or avatar or the person that they're wanting to sell to, essentially? And I'll go through these. Chad, dude, that was an awesome one-to-one, man. I really enjoyed that. Sebastian, all right, let's start with yourself, man. So how to find a more mature avatar that's more serious in general about doing the work. So Sebastian, you know what? Just unmute yourself for a second, dude. What's your niche?
Currently, it's something like productivity. I was framed like discipline before, but now that I wanted to basically help entrepreneurs with their work, but I realized, wait, I don't really have results in that. So I just focused, at least now, a bit more general in terms of productivity. And that's kind of what I do. Yeah.
Right. So you're helping people with productivity and how to find a more mature avatar. How are you getting like traffic at the moment?
Through my YouTube channel currently, I'm making YouTube videos.
Right. Well, that's a great place to start then. So if you're doing YouTube content, I would say, what kind of people is that attracting? Is it attracting good people, bad people, rich people, broke people, young people, older people, right? What's the answer to that right now? Is it getting you good prospects or bad prospects?
Out of the feedback that I get from people through comments, for example?
Yeah, but do you, what's your offer and price, man? Are you taking sales calls?
Well, currently I want to do sales calls before I complete all my courses for the school community I want to do. It's just the audience on YouTube is not big enough. So I'm thinking that it would be kind of a waste of time for me to focus right now just on making everything instead of just having sales calls, because I can do that in the meantime before the community, just at a way higher level in terms of people, the number.
Yeah, for sure. So to answer your question, so how to find a more mature avatar that's more serious in general, make content for them, right? Make content that's specifically worded, geared, titled, presented to a higher level audience, right? So you're going to speak in a different way. You're going to have a different background, even, right? You're going to talk about different things, and that's going to attract that kind of person. You know, does that help?
Yeah, that does help. Do you think it helps also with my style of clothing? For example, I have like this hat I usually wear to be more